Hey everyone, welcome to Fighting Over the Card Catalog, a snarky look back on young adult novels of the 80s and 90s. I'm Jess.
I'm Steven, and I'm here to make my wife happy.
And we're taking a journey to find out how many terrible and hopefully some not so terrible books from my youth I can get my husband to read before he reconsiders this whole marriage. Hi.
Hey, love. That was a pretty tepid hi.
Well, you didn't look like you were like, here with me. You're like, yes. So, we're changing the format of our podcast. Did I tell you?
No, you didn't tell me.
Yeah.
It's a good time to tell me on air, huh?
Yeah. We're now a Greta Thunburg stancast.
What?
We're a Greta Thunburg stancast.
I don't know what that means.
What stancast means?
Right.
Do you not know what it means to stand something?
To stand it.
No, stan.
Stand? Like a person?
Like the name, yes.
A stancast.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, well, you know Eminem's Stan?
No.
Eminem, the rapper.
Okay, I know Eminem the rapper.
Okay.
Personally.
You do not. And his song Stan, about his super fan.
Okay, I don't know that.
You don't know that?
No.
Wow.
Okay, so you're saying we're a super fan podcast.
For Greta Thunberg, yes.
Is that basically what you're saying?
Wow. I mean, okay.
I love the comment, when somebody was pointing out that, a 16-year-old girl says we should fix the environment and grown adults feel like they have to attack her. Mm-hmm. How one of them said, show me the green plane that she flew in.
Oh, yeah.
And she actually came in on a emissions-free boat.
Yeah. I on some comment section last night, I put the link to the New York Times article when she landed in New York on her emissions-free boat. I'm like, just here. Other people were like, hey, check your facts before you open your mouth, please.
Yeah. Facts are relative these days.
Are they?
According to people.
Yeah. They're not.
That's just the liberal biased news making you wanting you to think that she came in on an emissions-free boat.
Right.
Really, she's just doing this all for the publicity, and in a couple of years from now, she's going to become a millionaire writing a book and making her own fashion line.
And also, she's been brainwashed, probably by her parents, which I've only seen one picture of each, and that was like in the past week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they do exist. I had no idea. Yeah, and I saw people, read people getting, saying, oh, well, her clothes sure look clean and new. Bet she bought those, fast fashion. It's like, I bet she bought those at a thrift store. And yeah, so they're clean. Should she be dirty? I mean, does that make her more of an environmentalist?
Yeah, the top industries release more pollution, and the number of cars that have emissions releases so much more than any private person could just do on their own.
So, yeah, I think Greta is who Dawn Schaefer wishes she could be.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say something and then I can't.
Why is that?
I don't want to spoil any of the rest of the series for you.
Ah. She stops being vegan?
Oh, no. She gets militant about it. Yeah.
Okay.
No, but I'll say this. Hey, you know who her best friend is?
Mary Anne.
Yeah. And guess what?
Logan Likes Mary Anne.
Yeah! You did it! Why don't you tell us about it? That was so great.
It used to be that Mary Anne had to wear her hair in braids and ask her dad before she did anything. But not anymore. Mary Anne's been growing up, and the Babysitters Club members aren't the only ones who have noticed. Logan Bruno likes Mary Anne. He has a dreamy southern accent, he's awfully cute, and he wants to join the Babysitters Club. The babysitters aren't sure Logan will make a good club member, and Mary Anne thinks she's too shy for Logan. Life in the Babysitters Club has never been this complicated or this fun!
I knew there was going to be an exclamation point at the end. It hasn't been this fun? Or it hasn't been more fun than this?
No.
No?
No.
Because there's a boy?
I wouldn't say
fun
this
at
hasn't
all.
been fun.
It's never been fun.
At least there's cake this time around. Which, if anybody doesn't know, Jess doesn't like cake. I don't
like cake. It's like the worst part of the book.
And I'm like, what kind of a person doesn't like cake?
The kind you married?
It's just crazy. What else is it you don't like that everybody else likes?
Corn in stuff.
Corn in stuff.
Yeah, I like corn by itself.
You can't have casseroles.
Not with corn in it. That's nasty. It's because, you poop out full corn nuggets kernels. And so, like, if you've ever done that, it ruins.
Have you ever done that and then looked and you see that?
Yeah. Don't you look at your poop?
Well, I mean, I don't study it.
Oh.
I guess maybe if I saw a kernel sticking out that I would notice.
Yeah. Not in like a fully well-formed turret. Wow. This is where we are.
A corn log?
A corn what?
A corn log.
A corn log. Ew. Yeah. Okay. Ew. Now, see, that's why throw a baby Ruth in a pool. And that's why the nuts make it look like a corn in the. That's what the nuts are representing in the.
Okay.
Yep.
So you say.
So I say. What do you think about this book?
I mean, I got through it.
Compared to other BSC books, how you feeling about it?
Yeah, I mean, it was all right. I don't know how to rate it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. It took you a while to get through it.
Well, I mean, it was over 2 days, but yeah, I was also very tired.
I know. You took a muscle relaxer. Then you tried reading it, and that didn't go well at all.
I pretty much fell asleep holding it up.
Yeah, you did. It was pretty pathetic. I'm actually a pretty big fan of this book.
Yeah, you like this one?
I do. You got, like, classic outfits in this one.
Okay.
You have a boy. No, that's actually not the biggest part. Although I like Logan now. It changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're in 8th grade.
Right.
For the first time.
So at one point, Mary Anne says that, she feels so much more grown up because 8th grade's the highest grade in the school. Mm-hmm. What happened to the rival babysitters girls who were in higher grades?
They went to high school.
And that's not part of this school?
No.
I thought they were like seeing them at their school.
The two that they were like close with that like came to the, that they saw, they were 8th graders. Whichever two. And then they were able to get...
Not the leaders, huh?
What?
But not the leaders?
No, they were the leaders.
Oh.
They just got older kids to do stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
But now those bitches are gone to high school. Huh. And now they're freshmen. But yeah. Now we're starting it in 8th grade for the very first time. Could you see all these books?
All right.
They're in 8th grade and all.
Those are all Babysitters Club books?
All these?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jeez.
That's not all of them yet.
Wow. It's painful looking.
Don't get them. You saw what happened at our last big haul. How many there were.
Yeah, I guess I haven't really paid. It's one of those things when the environment is dirty, then you just don't pay attention to it. I guess maybe I just didn't pay attention to your dirty, dirty books.
My dirty, dirty Babysitters Club.
I was just sticking my head in the sand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, here
Not
they
really
are.
noticing.
And that's not all of them. Hey, at least you got off easy this weekend at Half Price Books. There were no Babysitters Club books. I was disappointed, but you seem pretty happy.
I actually got several books this weekend.
Yeah,
A lot
you
more
did
than
well.
usual.
Mm-hmm. I got some Christopher Pike books, though. I was pretty excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, you got some... Was there something about heretics or something? I haven't gone through and cataloged them yet.
I don't remember. I'm going to go look real quick.
Okay.
The Bing Bong book.
The Bing Bong book. I mean, the thing is, he dies, though.
The Bing Bong does?
Yeah.
No way. That's not good.
Yeah, he gets left in the, with all the balls in the pit of despair.
No.
You've seen Inside Out.
Have I?
Yeah.
When did I see Inside Out?
I cried. A lot. You laughed. It was in Elkhart, so it was a while ago.
Well, anyway.
I mean, as great Inside Out, as wonderful as my favorite Pixar movie. So, yeah.
So I got The Hobbit.
You got The Hobbit for
Rudy. Because I don't think he's read it.
Yeah, and 2.
And he can read it to his child, my grandchild.
Yeah.
I found Tamora Pierce, Trickster's Choice. She has a few series that are very good and women empowering. So, be good for...
Yeah, I've heard of her.
Garth Nix Abhorsen, sequel to Sabriel and Lariel. Those were both good. And I found a Neil Stephenson Snow Crash.
Yeah.
The Untold Civil War, exploring the human side of war. Lots of pictures. And the one you were thinking of was Despotism, a pictorial history of tyranny. And there are some crazy things happening in this book.
Yeah, I bet.
And some are actual pictures, but most are paintings of things that went on during the reign of despots, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, we are starting 8th grade for the first time, and we'll see about keeping track about how many times they started over.
How many times they start 8th grade over?
Yeah, and how many Halloweens there are.
What?
Boy, it is a time loop. Fever dream. I don't know. So, guess what? Mary Anne's introducing everybody to us, and she goes, her mother got married again, and Kristy was her bridesmaid. Honest. It's like, I don't think you were lying to us, Mary Anne / Anne. I mean, I think we're okay. Fashion alert. Dawn shows up at Mary Anne's house to go to a meeting. And I might burp. Nope. Dawn was wearing a pretty snappy outfit. Hot pink shorts with a big, breezy island print shirt over a white tank top. Yeah. Because they are heading to their last meeting before school starts the next day. And they're all kind of bummed about it. Okay, so did you feel like Mary Anne had an orgasmic time when she opened the mailbox and took out 16 magazine?
I don't think so. What made you think that?
Because she goes, I shrieked when I opened the box. It's here! It came! 16 magazine. Oh no, I'm dying. Look who's on the cover. It's Cam Gary. Isn't he adorable? The last issue had an article about him, but here's this gorgeous picture. And a poster of him too. A free poster.
Did you hang up guys' posters? For
Not
magazines?
a lot, but a few, yeah. I think when I was Not when I was 13, but like 10, 11. Yeah. With like Joey Lawrence. Hell yeah. Did you hang up like chicks on cars on your wall or anything like that? No?
No. I don't remember many posters growing up. I mean, when I was in high school, I had movie posters because I got movie posters from the movie place I worked at.
Oh, right. Yeah. So, yeah, they have their meeting, and then Mary Anne is so excited to get her new stuff to school the next day. And, I got a little fluttery when she's talking about my brand new binder was filled with fresh paper. I had inserted neatly labeled dividers, one for each subject among the paper, and a pencil case containing pens, pencils, an eraser, a ruler, and a pack of gum.
That was your jam, yo.
I mean, I still really love school supply time. Yeah, I mean, it's just all nice and new and organized and fresh and clean. And,
right. I liked it when I was in school, not so much when I had to buy school supplies.
Oh yeah, I imagine that's vastly different. She brought the gum because you're not allowed to tape things up in the lockers.
Like gums is so much better.
Yeah, so they get around the rule by sticking up posters like Cam Geary with freshly chewed gum. What? Did you ever decorate your locker? Was that a thing?
It seems like I did.
Yeah?
I don't remember with what.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I was in high school that like cheerleaders would do stuff for people on varsity.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So I had the basketball and football and tennis, there. So
on the outside of your locker.
On the outside.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what I put in the inside. So maybe I didn't decorate it. Or I probably would have remembered.
Yeah.
Huh.
I remember when I was like in middle school, like they were starting to come out with like coordinated locker stuff, like mirror and a magnetic like little thing you could put paper and pens in that you can stick up there too. And shelves to put in your locker. And that's mainly what I remember. I'm sure I had pictures too, but I don't.
You don't remember what?
No. But I'm pretty sure we were allowed tape. Yes, we were, because I remember that it was buck wild. This.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Although we were also allowed to chew gum in middle school. I remember that.
Really?
It was a very big deal. Yeah. Shocking, right?
Yeah.
Who would let middle schoolers have gum?
Yeah.
It was a commodity, though.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. We're at lunch the first day. Oh, and it's very surprising. They sit together as a full club.
Yeah.
Now, Kristy and Mary Anne aren't sitting with the Schilleber twins anymore. Thank goodness, because I still am not quite sure how to say their name. And Stacy and Claudia aren't sitting with a whole bunch of boys and stuff. They're all sitting together. And Mary Anne's pleasantly surprised. She's also surprised when they are talking about some girl, and Mary Anne goes, "Have you noticed the size of her?" "The size of her chest," supplied Claudia. "Well, she is kind of big. She's only 14. Oh, they're talking about Cam Geary's girlfriend. That's what it is. She's only 14. Yeah. And Mary Anne's shocked, because apparently she has a big rack, which they have never talked about anything like that before. But yeah. Oh, and they say something about we would have a real graduation ceremony in June. Ha! No, you won't. So on that first day, Mary Anne sees this new boy who looks exactly like Cam Geary. He's in Stacy's homeroom, and his name is Logan Bruno, and Mary Ann's all jealous that Stacy already knows him. But Kristy thinks something else is very exciting, like a poster for a PTA meeting. She thinks it'd be a great opportunity to advertise for the club. And so the girls agree to make up new flyers. And fortunately, now at least they start thinking about giving Kristy's mom some money for Xeroxing. It's like, thank you. I appreciate you finally coming to that. It's like, we've been using a lot of favor.
I mean, it's still a little bit of embezzling because you're using ink and energy. Mm-hmm. But not as bad embezzling.
Not as bad. And they're also going to hand them around Kristy's new neighborhood, even though she thinks everybody there are snobs. But everybody kind of gets onto her a bit. They're like, Kristy, come on. You're not making it hard. And their plan goes really too well. Claudia is inundated with calls from new clients after the PTA meeting outside of meeting times. And it's so bad, she calls an emergency meeting during lunch. And Kristy's a little pissed that somebody else called a meeting, but it's like,
yeah, somebody called her like 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that's an emergency, guys. But the new boy, Logan, overhears from the next table, and he comes over and sits down by Mary Anne, and he says he has a lot of babysitting experience, and so they invite him to come to a meeting. And Mary Ann's so nervous she doesn't say anything during this whole exchange. But thank goodness we get our first bit of his accent being spelled out. In Louisville, I've had plenty of experience. And they don't do it for every line he says, thank God.
Yeah.
But yeah, every once in a while throughout the rest of the series, it's like, oh, don't forget he's from Kentucky.
Right.
I don't know. I hate the spelling out of accents, maybe particularly Southern accents.
I mean, it does give you a pretty good representation of how they sound.
It does. I don't have to like it though. So he comes to the next meeting.
I will say that when I joined the Air Force, I had a very thick East Texas accent.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, I did when we moved to Connecticut.
People laughed about it, and...
That's not fair. You're still in Texas.
And liked to point it out.
Yeah.
But I was in San Antonio, and most of the people I worked with were from nowhere around here. Yeah. From Pennsylvania and Detroit and... from all over the country, not Texas.
Yeah. I had to train myself to stop saying y'all.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. And that's hard when you're 8.
Yeah, I guess I trained myself from y'all when I was about, I think I was about 11. Mm-hmm. And my grandfather had died, and his family from up north had come down to the funeral. Mm-hmm. And I walked into a kitchen. There were several of them in there, and I said, "What are y'all doing?" And they all just started laughing. It's a y'all. Started laughing, and
it's cute when
I was very embarrassed and shy already, and so
Same.
yeah, so I stopped saying y'all.
Yeah.
From that.
Wow. When you're 11, though, still living here.
Uh-huh.
That must have been difficult. Yeah, I did it. But, I mean, I'm sure my accent was horrible. I mean, East Texas little kid accents are the worst.
Yeah. Like I said, when Megan was living with her mom, she was living in little bitty Natchez. Mm-hmm. City of like 600 maybe.
Right.
And... every time I saw her accent got a little bit thicker and little bit thicker. And me and Aaron would make fun of her, and she would get mad.
Yeah.
And because she was the same, self-conscious and shy.
And yet you did it.
And yet we did it.
And yet you did it. Y'all suck. My worst one was being called out for an accent, was not having an accent when we moved to Minnesota.
Ah. Uh-huh. Where's your Texas accent?
No, it wasn't that. It's like, I think I basically had no accent by that point, because, Boston, Rhode Island, New York, they have accents, but I don't think there's a Connecticut accent.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. No. But when we moved to Minnesota, we had a big youth group at church, And we went out collecting cans for some youth group thing. And we got back, and we're telling stories about, anything interesting that happened. And we had something happen in our group. We went up to this one door and rang the doorbell, and all of a sudden this dog starts barking at us from the roof. Which was great, But they don't say roof. They say roof.
Roof.
Yeah. They're like, like dogs say, roof. And so, like, they have a huge youth group at that church, and everybody laughed at me for saying roof correctly. So, fuck off, everyone. Okay, so.
But we do digress.
Our charmingly accented Logan Bruno comes to the next meeting. And it goes okay, except the girls realize they can't talk about things like bra straps in front of him. Oh no, it gets really fucking awkward. Since now they're talking about boobs all the time. Yeah, it's never been a problem before, but whatever. Mary Anne can still barely talk. And she's like dropping her record book and everything, but he's sitting next to her, so. And they line up a trial job for him with a new client, the Rodowskys. And Kristy'd like another sitter to go with him, and Mary Anne is the only one free. So, before the job, she's like, okay, I gotta stop being so weird and be a professional. And so she kind of gets over herself. And she actually talks, which is great. We meet the one and only Jackie Rodowsky. What do you think of Jackie in this introduction to him?
Seemed like a rambunctious kid.
Yeah? Do you hate him, though?
Not yet.
Okay, fair.
I might have hated babysitting for him.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's completely accident prone, and yeah. He gets a whole book named after him. About 10 books. Kristy and the Walking Disaster. But Logan handles things really well overall. There are a couple little things she didn't like, but overall she's really impressed. Like, he's good with the parents, and he's good with Jackie. And one thing he didn't like, so Jackie like goes upstairs, and they hear this crash, and it's because he was trying to do pull-ups on the curtain rod, which seems standard for a kid, honestly. But they call it chinning.
Yeah.
Have you ever called it that or heard it called that? Yeah, chin-ups. Okay, yeah.
But I've never heard it called chinning.
Me neither. It was weird. Anyways, he was going upstairs because he's like, I gotta show you guys my grasshopper. His name is Elizabeth. And they're like, his name? And he's like, yeah. Jackie was woke as fuck, even back in 1988. Hell yeah, no gender norms for Jackie. Hell yeah. So, I love Jackie. Then Claudia has a crazy job over at the Perfect Perkinses. The girls are wonderful, but Chewy, their dog, kind of terrorizes the neighborhood, but that's Claudia's fault because she dropped his fucking leash. And she didn't ask if she could take him for a walk. Right. And he's a big old lab. And he's very rambunctious. Right. Just as much as Jackie. So, yeah, it's dumb to take a big old dog that you don't know very well when you've got a 2-year-old, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate Gabby in this, though. She stuck stickers all over her door once. I did that once, too, and I got in trouble. But Gabby goes, my door is very beautiful. Looking serious. I'm like, yes, I agree. So, yeah, Chewy runs off when they go to pick up Mariah from the bus stop, and they're like, well, let's just go home and see if he'll come back. And eventually these construction workers, this guy comes up and he's like, hey, I really like your dog. He's really nice, but he won't give me my cones back. And Chewy's been stockpiling them.
How can you say he's really nice? I mean, obviously, if you tried to get your cones back and he like tried to growl at you or bite you or something.
Oh, no. I bet he was like very friendly and getting pats, but then he'd just sneak in and steal a cone and run home. I bet. That's what I see. Yeah. He's hoarding them in the backyard. Which is awesome. Chewie is perfect, and I won't hear a single word against him. Thank you. So the girls discuss that Logan job at their next meeting, and they all like him and think it's great. He did a good job. But they all remember how uncomfortable it was when he attended the meeting, and so they're really not sure they're okay with that. So they decide to see what he says, and that Mary Anne should be the one to call. So she gets up her nerve and calls him, and he says he actually doesn't want to be part of the club. But then he blindsides her by asking her to the Remember September dance. And she says yes. Oh, yeah. Stacy sits for Charlotte, and they come up with an idea to surprise Mary Anne for her upcoming birthday. And Stacy decides to have just a regular party, not specifically for Mary Anne, so it won't embarrass her. But she's planning a surprise cake and having everyone bring presents. And that sounds like a party for Mary Anne to me. Not a regular party, but whatever. It's also going to be boy-girl. Oh, yeah. I think it's their first one. So Mary Anne's dad gives her his credit card to go shopping for something to wear to the dance. And the entire club goes. And they find the famous Cities skirt. Yeah, this is like big in the fandom. Just okay. This is what's the word for it? It's iconic. Because you could just see it, and it's like everybody wanted one so badly. I wanted one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I see there are accessories that get bought later on.
Yes. Yeah, so here's the description. It's a full white skirt with the words Paris, Rome, and London, and sketchy pink and blue pictures of the Eiffel Tower, the Tower Bridge, and other stuff scrawled all over it. She matched it up with a pink shirt and a baggy pink sweater. And then she finds some white slip-ons with pink and blue edging that match the pink and blue in the skirt. That is a dope-ass outfit. It's the dopest. Okay, so what is this fuckery, though? Mary Anne is so nervous about the dance that Kristy actually cancels the meeting that day so they can go over and help her get ready. They pay Janine a couple of bucks to answer the phone for them. What?
Yeah.
I don't believe it. And it's like...
Just all...
When Kristy gets very dictatorial... Yeah. I can't say that. Later on, it's like...
She's a dictator.
Yeah.
One of my favorite words.
Oh my god. Okay, but here's our supersized fashion alert for the dance. Get ready. Alright, well, I mean, we already know what Mary Anne's wearing. Claudia was wearing short, tight-fitting black pants and a big white shirt that said Bebop all over it. Between pictures of rock and roll dancers, she had fixed a floppy blue bow in her hair. Stacy was wearing a white t-shirt under a hot pink jumpsuit. Dawn and Kristy looked more casual. Dawn was wearing a green and white oversized sweater and stretchy green pants. I'm pretty sure they're stirrup pants, but anyway. And now it's the first time we meet Kristy's uniform. She never wears anything besides this, basically, ever. White turtleneck under a pink sweater with jeans. We couldn't seem to get her out of blue jeans.
Okay.
That is the official Kristy uniform, and yeah, basically she will not be counted in any fashion alert from now on. Huh. So at the dance, Logan gives Mary Anne a corsage. I mean, really? For like a regular middle school dance, a corsage? They have one every month.
Right.
I mean, and a band and decorations.
It must have been the time when the author grew up.
I guess.
And she was putting that on like that was still happening.
I guess. I mean, I feel like we had like every other month maybe dances in middle school. And it still seemed excessive. But yeah, they were just, get a DJ and turn the lights off in the cafeteria. And that's it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, we had, a formal semi-formal at the end of 8th grade. It was still the same thing. It was just us and dressed up nicer. But
Yeah, we had one or two dances at the school. Most of the dances that were at the VFW.
Oh, yeah. That seems to be a Texas or East Texas thing. Yeah, that's what they do in Rusk too. Yeah, or the community center, whatever. Mm. Yeah, but yeah, it must be more excited doing it somewhere else. But anyway, okay. So the dance is half over before those two actually start to dance. And Mary Anne feels silly, but then she just starts copying Logan, which makes him laugh because he starts doing silly things, and so she copies him, and it actually sounds really fun. Yeah. They're having a real good time, and then he starts kicking like a rocket, which just sit with that for a minute. And then Mary Anne does the same. She kicks her shoe off, her perfect, adorable little slip-on shoe, nearly hitting the vice principal in the head. And everybody laughs. And so, of course, she's mortified. Sits out the rest of the dance. Logan dances with everybody else in the club. But I don't think Mary Anne's upset about it. She didn't come off, but she definitely mentioned it. But she was afraid Logan was going to be mad at her, but he wasn't. And he tells her, dancing with you is really fun. No girls ever fooled around with me like that. Huh. So Kristy is sitting for the little Thomas Brewers, and Dawn comes over to spend the night, which is really nice. They're getting to be friendlier. There's a lot of foreshadowing for the next book, and I don't even want to deal with it right now. The kids fight, which is nice, I think. I like it when kids aren't being perfect in these books, Sometimes they're a little too perfect. Okay. But they're just flat out being brats. And it sounds normal. But while they're doing that, Kristy and Dawn discuss possible gifts for Mary Anne. Huzzah. Mary Anne gets permission to go to this party and asks Logan to go with her, and he says yes. Huzzah. So the day of the party, Stacy calls Mary Anne. She's like, "Oh, can you come half an hour later? Things are kind of crazy over here." And Mary Anne's like, "Yeah, okay." She just thinks Stacy's nervous about the party, but when she gets there, she's the last to arrive. But she and Logan sit and talk for a long time, and it sounds really nice. They're just getting to know each other, which is always cute. And he says he really likes this Mary Anne. The one who's not so shy. And
right.
Yeah.
Is this the real Mary Anne?
The real Mary Anne. But then they turn off the lights and bring out cake and presents and just pretty much ambush her. And she is so embarrassed, she bolts and runs home. And it's yeah, I would have too.
Would you have?
At that age, yes, absolutely. At this age, possibly.
So, surprise birthday party in the future.
Big no.
But you have to forget about it first. So it'll be at least a couple of years.
What?
But you have to forget about it first. So it'll be at least a couple of years.
Okay, great. Cool. Have you ever had a surprise party for you?
Nope. I think somebody tried to give me one time, but I found out, and they were like,
"Would you have hated it?"
Surprised. Probably not.
Really?
If it was people I liked, yeah.
Even if you were ambushed with all that attention just on you, like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just for a minute or two. Yeah, I mean, it's bad just for me going to a restaurant and having somebody sing happy birthday. I don't like that.
Oh, no. They did that to me. My 13th birthday at Red Lobster. And I had one friend with me. She was going to be out of town for my actual party. But yeah, 13. Ooh, that was not the best time to try and embarrass Jess. I threw a fit and stormed out. Yeah. Yeah, no, that sort of just I would cry when, people sang the birthday song to me. I mean, it's just too much attention for nothing. I hate it. That's why I'm glad Cody and I have co-birthdays now. It's not too much attention on either one of us at once. But hey, you and Little Man have the same birthday this year. on Thanksgiving. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'll have 2 grandkids that are kind of close. So maybe we could.
Oh yeah.
Do those together.
And Todd's in there too, right?
Yeah, he's like 8 days before me.
Yeah.
And my half brother is on the 19th of the 21st. So.
Wow.
Yeah, either 7 or 9 days. See, my grandfather, my mom's dad, was on the other date. So it was either the 19th or the 21st.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, no surprise parties ever. Or surprise, well, especially not surprise cake. My God. Please don't ever surprise me with cake. Nobody calls to check on her that night, so she's assumes just everyone's pissed off at her. And yeah, I would also make that assumption myself.
Right.
And that morning she asked her dad for a cat. And after some thinking, he actually agrees. But he does say this, and I love it. You have to get the cat or kitten from the animal shelter. Give a home to a pet that really needs one. I love you, Richard Springer. He's such a cool dad now. But she calls Logan to make up with him and tell him her news. And he's like, well, we just assumed you were mad at all of us. And so that's why we didn't call, which wasn't the case. But anyways, they're all good. And he goes to the shelter to help her pick out a kitten. And she picks out a gray tiger cat she names Tigger. Because she's always wanted a gray tiger cat. So later she calls Stacy to apologize, and yeah, like Logan, Stacy thought she was pissed at them, and so they make up too. And they decide the whole club should come meet Tigger the next day. When they do, they bring the cake and presents and have a belated party. I kind of like the shade. The other girls throw a little bit of shade at Mary Anne. When she goes to open the door, they all stand there and whisper, "Surprise." So at the next meeting, it's another crazy one where they're too busy to accept all the jobs. So they come up with the idea of asking Logan to be an associate member, meaning they'll only call him when they have to, and he doesn't have to come to meetings. So Mary Anne calls him with their proposal, and he gladly accepts. The end.
The end?
The end of this book.
Okay. Really? That was the end?
Yeah. What else did you think happened?
I don't know. I thought something else happened. No, I guess that was it.
I promise.
Think you're lying.
Okay, so on to chapter 4 in Anna Martin's biography.
Oh.
Yes. This chapter is called Dodds Lane. Basically, we just learn about their perfect little suburban life that was the setup for the Babysitters Club, essentially.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so we basically learn how this whole neighborhood is basically like the neighborhood in Stony Brook, Mary Anne and Claudia's whole neighborhood. They built the house themselves. They bought 3/4 of an acre of land on Dodds Lane, and they watched the new home go up from the first shovel of dirt for the basement to the last nail on the roof. Anne had her own room, and at first she had pictures, drawings she'd made up on the walls, and bunk beds, but then it changed to twin beds, and the baby drawings were replaced by peace posters, which were a big fad in the 60s, and a photo of Bill Cosby.
Everybody wants him to be their dad. Or their daddy.
I hate it so much. Anyways, so the neighborhood grew up around them. Bunches of new houses were built, sidewalks put in, and so like by the time the 6 nearest houses were finished, 17 kids were living in them.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, this is just like a prototypical like suburb. Like,
right.
So there's a shit ton of friends. Some were older, like her age, like her best friend Beth down the street. But mostly she was older than them. So it seemed like there was always some group of younger kids to organize and play with or take care of. fact, the way the kids played together on Dawes Lane was an awful lot to do with how things were set up in Anne's books. And yeah, it just sounds like the picturesque sort of little neighborhood, all of them playing together and going out in the woods and sledding. The best part was down the Martins' front lawn, across the street, and up the lawn of the house next door. Oh, and it talks about how wonderful her room was. It was like a magical little kingdom for her, where she could read books or do art projects or finish up a needlepoint in peace. She actually enjoyed being sent to her room so she could make up stories and plays. I enjoyed being sent to my room too.
Yeah.
To read Babysitter's Club books. So that feels like super nerdy. And yeah. And that's the end of that chapter. So you're getting the idea of why Babysitter's Club is the way it is.
Yeah.
It's so picturesque and perfect, like early 60s. Even though it's the
very
late 80s at this point.
White.
Mm-hmm. So what are you reading this week?
So I finished The Elephant in the Brain, Hidden Motives in Everyday Life. Very good. Gave it 5 stars. Recommend everybody read it. So I'm currently listening to We're Not From Here by Geoff Rodowsky. Basically, the human race is dying out. The planet can't be lived on.
Sounds legit.
They get to Mars. There's like 2,400 humans left. They find an alien planet that already has 4 other life forms living on it, and they invite the humans to come to that planet.
Well, that was nice.
So the main character in the book, her mom is like one of the representatives, and they end up going to the alien planet. The rest of the humans decide they're going to go back to Earth. They lose contact with Mars and Earth. They get to the planet. It's 20 years later. They've been in stasis or whatever.
Sure.
And they are no longer welcome on the planet.
I mean, shit changes.
Politics
in 20 years.
have changed. Different people are in charge.
Yeah.
They don't want the humans there anymore. So anyway, the humans basically say, well, we can't leave. We don't have enough fuel to get anywhere, and there's nowhere else to live. So they talk them into letting one family unit come down to the planet, and because her mom is one of the representatives that are chosen, her and her sister and her mom and her dad, and they've just started school. Alien school.
Cool. I mean, it just got me thinking. It's like, imagine like how welcoming the United States was in 1999. The last full year of Bill, well, no. I mean, he was the rest for 2000. But anyways, second to last year of Bill Clinton's presidency. Compared to now.
Right.
Wow. Yeah. Shit changes in 20 years for sure.
It does. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm reading. So
what are you reading?
I was reading, remember the Jeeves book. Well, that's thrown to the side because my copy of the Testaments by Margaret Atwood came in last week. And so, that's all I've been reading. And I have a few more chapters left. And I mean, I don't want to say anything because I know a lot of people will read this one.
Right.
Do you want to read it?
I don't know. Maybe.
You never read Handmaid's Tale, did you?
No, I didn't.
I mean, you obviously know it because of the story of the show. But, it's interesting. June's not the narrator of this one. There are 3 different narrators. One is an aunt. One is a girl that's grown up in Canada. So she's relatively normal. And we get like her outside perspective. And then another is a girl, one of the kids that is grown up in Gilead. You know, like she was one of the ones that was like taken from a handmaid.
Gotcha.
You know. So it's really interesting seeing this whole world that we know so well, but now through these different perspectives, and we get more history of like the founding of it and everything. And yeah, it's really interesting. I wouldn't say it's perfect. There are some things that bothered me. But yeah, it's hella good. Yeah, I made myself finish reading and writing up everything for today's podcast on Friday evening so I could just read all weekend.
Yeah, gotcha.
All right. That's all I got. How about you?
Yeah, I guess. Yep. Hopefully I won't be so busy at work and I can listen to more next week.
Yeah. Just one book. That's crazy for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll be going to East Texas this weekend for your daughter's baby shower.
Right.
And so I'll be reading the next book to you.
I was going to ask, could we skip?
Nope.
All right.
Nope. I've got the next month planned out. So hey friends, thanks for listening. If you've been enjoying our show, please share it, tweet it, and tell all your friends and enemies, and rate and subscribe on Apple Podcasts and all the other podcast places. Check out our website at fightingoverthecardcatalog.com. Like our page and join our group on Facebook. And just search for Fighting Over the Card Catalog. And we're that on Instagram, Tumblr, YouTube, and Pinterest as well. And over on Twitter, we're at Card Catalog Pod. And I'm at Just Digress. So next week, we're getting into spoopy season. So we'll be reading Christina's Ghost by Betty Wren Wright. That is it, right? Yeah. It just doesn't feel like it's gonna be October by next week's episode, but it is. Okay. Anyways, we're rereading the books of your childhood.
So you don't have to.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.